Hey everyone, welcome back to Clinical Craft. In part 1, we master the basics of checking the normal pulse. But what happens when you enter the wards and the pulse feel completely abnormal? Today, in part 2, we are diving straight into the pathology, break down the real clinical causes behind tachycardia and bradycardia, how to easily spot a regular versus an irregularly irregular rhythm like an atrial fibrillation, and the absolute simplest way to decode complex waveforms. Grab your notebooks and let's get started. Let's start with the first two essential parameters of our pulse examination, rate and the rhythm. ये दोनों बेसिक पैरामीटर्स हैं लेकिन इनकी क्लिनिकल वैल्यू सबसे ज़्यादा है. If we look at the left column of the image, by definition, it's simply the number of pulse beat per minute. As we practiced earlier, you palpate the radial artery using the pads of your index, middle and the ring fingers. अब काउंटिंग का रूल क्या है? If the pulse feels perfectly regular, you can save time by counting for 30 seconds and multiplying by 2. But remember, if it feels slightly irregular, कोई shortcut नहीं चलेगा. You must count for full 60 seconds to avoid errors. Now, clinically, a normal adult resting rate is between 60 to 100 beats per minute. If it crosses 100, it's tachycardia. This is your body kicking into overdrive, commonly seen in the physiological states like fever or pathological conditions like anemia, shock, or hyperthyroidism. If it drops below 60, that's bradycardia. ये कंडीशन आपको या तो थोड़े हेल्दी एथलीट्स में मिलेगी or it points to underlying issues like hypothyroidism, raised intracranial pressure, or a heart block. Now let's pivot the right column of the slide to look at the rhythm. Rhythm isn't just about how fast the heart is beating, it's about the pattern of those beats. To assess it, you need to carefully feel the time intervals between each beat. दो बीट्स के बीच का जो गैप है उस पर ध्यान देना है. When you analyze this interval, you will classify it into three categories. First, regular, a perfectly predictable pattern, ये normal clinical state है. Second is the irregularly irregular. This is absolute chaos under your fingers. There is no pattern whatsoever. ये signature sign है atrial fibrillation का. Third is the regularly irregular. Here, the pulse is irregular, but it follows a predictable pattern of irregularity, like a skip beat every third cycle. This commonly points to extrasystoles or a heart block. Finally, look at the point number 4 under clinical significance is the pulse deficit. This is the difference between the apical pulse, what you hear directly over the heart with a stethoscope, and the radial pulse at the wrist. In conditions like atrial fibrillation, some heart contractions are too weak to push the pressure wave all the way to the wrist. Heart beat तो कर रहा है, but pulse wrist तक नहीं पहुंच रहा है. Calculating this deficit tells you exactly how many cardiac cycles are being wasted. Understanding these two elements together gives you an immediate window into your patient's cardiac rhythm stability. Now, let's move on to two parameters that truly demand your tactile sensitivity, volume and character. ये दोनों पैरामीटर्स हमें कार्डियक सिस्टम के मैकेनिक्स के बारे में बहुत कुछ बताते हैं. Let's look at the left column of the image and break down volume. Volume is simply the strength or the height of the pulse wave pushing against your finger. It is directly proportional to the pulse pressure, which is the difference between your systolic and the diastolic blood pressure. Normally, this sits comfortably between 30 to 60 mmHg. अब इसे चेक कैसे करना है? Unlike rate, where you can just count for volume, you need to apply varying pressure over the artery. Press a little deeper, then ease off to gauge how forcefully the vessel is expanding. We grade it into three simple levels: low or thready, normal, and high or bounding. Now, low volume pulse is less than 30 mmHg, also known as hypokinetic pulse. This tells you that the heart isn't pumping enough blood forward or the intravascular volume is dangerously depleted. Classic for states like shock or severe heart failure. यहाँ pulse thready feel होगी, बिल्कुल हल्की सी. Second is the high volume pulse, which is more than 60 mmHg, also known as hyperkinetic pulse. This occurs when the heart is throwing out a massive stroke volume seen in the hyperdynamic states like fever and anemia, or the structural defects like aortic regurgitation. Now let's switch over to the right column of the slide and look at the character. Character is all about the shape of the waveform, how it rises, peaks, and fall. As we have discussed earlier, Your go to go window here is the carotid artery because we need to feel the precise upstroke and downstroke close to the heart. Peripheral arteries में ये waves damp हो जाती है, इसीलिए carotid is best. Now let's break down the actual anatomy of this pressure wave. ये वेव दिखती कैसी है और हमारे हाथ तक कब पहुंचती है? चलिए देखते हैं. Look at the graph on the left side. First is the percussion wave. This is the rapid upstroke driven directly by the left ventricular ejection. Second is the tidal wave, secondary peak, which is just a reflection wave bouncing back from the upper body. Third is the dicrotic notch. That sharp dip right here corresponds to S2, the closure of the aortic valve at the end of the systole. Last one is the dicrotic wave, the final diastolic bump reflecting back up from the lower body. अगर valve खराब होगा तो ये पूरी wave deform हो जाएगी. Now look at the transmission times on the right side. The wave takes a physical amount of time to travel from the heart to your fingers. First is the carotid, which takes 30 milliseconds, as it is closest to the heart, which is why it's best for assessing the character. Second is the brachial artery, which takes about 60 milliseconds. Third is the femoral, which takes about 75 milliseconds, and the last is the radial that takes about 80 milliseconds. अब यहाँ interesting point ये है, even though your groin is further away from the heart than your wrist, the wave reaches the femoral artery faster than the radial artery. Because lower body vessels have a wider diameter, which allows the pressure wave to propagate at a much higher velocity. Now let's switch over to the character alterations, which are heavily tied to the valvular diseases and systemic compliance. First two are the parvus attardus and anacrotic pulse. Let's group these two together. Parvus means small volume, tardus means delayed peak. While an anacrotic pulse explicitly shows a slow rising wave with a notch on its ascending limb. Here, both point directly to severe aortic stenosis because the aortic valve is narrowed and stiff. Blood cannot rush out quickly. It slowly trickles out against high resistance. Second is the water hammer pulse, also known as collapsing pulse, exactly opposite end of the spectrum. This waveform looks like a steep hill with a rapid, violent rise and a sudden collapse. It is a classical sign of the aortic regurgitation or the patent ductus arteriosus. Here, the left ventricle pumps a massive volume out rapidly, but because the valve doesn't close properly, that blood immediately backflows or shunts away, causing the pulse volume to crash. Third is the pulsus bispheriens, characterized by a distinct double systolic peak. एक ही कार्डियक कॉन्ट्रैक्शन में फिंगर में दो पीक्स फील होते हैं. It is common in combined severe aortic regurgitation and aortic stenosis, or can also be seen in the hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. The rapid initial ejection creates first peak followed by the brief pressure dip due to obstruction and then a second tidal peak as the remaining blood is forced out. Fourth one is the pulsus dicroticus. Don't confuse this with bispherians. While bispherians has two peaks in systole, a dicrotic pulse has its first peak in systole and the second peak in diastole. This is seen in the low cardiac output states with low systemic vascular resistance like typhoid fever or severe dehydration. Highly compliant, relaxed arteries allow the aortic valve closure to create a massive, palpable rebound wave during diastole. Moving on next is the pulsus alternans. यहाँ rhythm strictly regular रहेगी, but the wave amplitude alternates between a strong beat and a weak beat. This is a classical hallmark of left ventricular failure. A failing ventricle alternate beats में suboptimal contraction करता है, leading to this alternating volume. Next is the pulsus bigeminus. यहाँ rhythm irregular हो जाती है. You will see couple beats, a normal beat quickly followed by a premature wave of lower volume, and then a long compensatory pause. It is highly characteristic of ventricular ectopics and digitalis toxicity. The early ectopic beat doesn't allow the ventricle to fill up properly, causing a weak premature pulse. Last one is the pulsus paradoxus. By definition, it's an exaggerated drop in systolic blood pressure, greater than 10 mmHg, during normal inspiration. As you can see in the graph, pulse amplitude drops drastically when the patient breathes it. It is seen in the cardiac tamponade or severe asthma. During inspiration, the expanding right ventricle physically pushes the interventricular septum into the left ventricle, compressing it and crashing the stroke volume. Moving on further is the condition of the vessel wall, radioradial and radiofemoral delay. Normally, when you roll a healthy young patient's artery under your fingers, it feels soft, compliant, and disappears when you compress it. We are specifically checking for three properties: thickness, torticity, and calcification. Now, अगर palpate करते वक्त artery hard, pipe like या rigid feel हो रही है, that signifies atherosclerosis. अब ये क्यों होता है? Over time, chronic conditions जैसे कि hypertension or diabetes damage the endothelial lining. This leads to cholesterol deposition, fibrous capping, and eventual calcification. आर्टरी अपनी इलास्टिसिटी खो देती है और एक हार्ट ट्यूब बन जाती है. दिस कॉमन फाइंडिंग इज इन द एल्डरली, बट व्हेन यू सी इन द यंगर पेशेंट्स, it's a massive red flag for the advanced cardiovascular disease. Moving on further, let's talk about the comparison of the pulse timing, which help us to diagnose structural blockages or congenital anomalies without an immediate scan. To check for the radioradial delay, you must palpate both radial pulses simultaneously, one with each hand. नॉर्मल कंडीशंस में दोनों हाथों की पल्स वेव एक साथ फिंगर्स को स्ट्राइक करेगी. बट इफ देयर इज अ डिले ऑन वन साइड, इट मीन्स समथिंग इज मैकेनिकली obstructing द ब्लड फ्लो ऑन its way from aorta to that arm. Think about the subclavian artery obstruction, aortic arch aneurysm compressing the branch vessels, thoracic inlet syndrome, or Takayasu arteritis. Next is the radiofemoral delay. Here you can place one hand on the patient's radial artery at the wrist and the other hand on the femoral artery in the groin simultaneously. Physiologically, क्योंकि femoral artery हार्ट के थोड़ा पास है relative to its vessel path size, दोनों pulses almost एक साथ fill होनी चाहिए. If you feel radial pulse hit your fingers before the femoral pulse hit, that is a positive radiofemoral delay. This is classic textbook hallmark of coarctation of aorta. Aorta में congenital narrowing होती है. The blood easily goes up to the upper limbs via head and neck vessels, but it gets choked before reaching the lower body. नीचे जाने वाली वेव डिले हो जाती है और उसका वॉल्यूम भी ड्रॉप हो जाएगा. Now that we have thoroughly evaluated the anatomical position, delays, and arterial wall itself, let's pivot to the core dynamic parameters of any peripheral pulse examination: the pulse rate abnormalities. When you place your fingers on the radial artery, the first mathematical value you calculate is the rate. The normal resting pulse ranges between 60 to 100 beats per minute. Anything outside this window lands us into pathology. Bradycardia, which is less than 60 beats per minute. सबसे पहले हर बार ब्रेडिकार्डिया बीमारी नहीं होती. Physiologically, you will see a pulse rate below 60 beats per minute in a well-conditioned athletes because their stroke volume is incredibly efficient and during deep sleep when metabolic demands drop. But when it's pathological, you must think of some system failures or blocks. Severe hypoxia deprives the myocardium, slowing it down. In hypothyroidism or myxedema, the body's entire metabolic engine slows down. ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिव जॉन्डिस में बाइल सॉल्ट्स ऐसे नोट पर डायरेक्ट डिप्रेशन एक्शन करते हैं. वी ऑल्सो सी इट इन द सिक साइनस सिंड्रोम, ड्रग्स लाइक बीटा ब्लॉकर्स और ड्यू टू कुशिंग्स रिफ्लेक्स एंड रेज्ड इंट्राक्रेनियल टेंशन. Tachycardia means the rate jumping past 100 beats per minute. Physiologically, ये normal है infants and children में because of their high baseline metabolic rate. It also triggers during emotional surges, heavy exertion, anxiety, and pregnancy due to increased blood volume. Pathologically, it's driven by tachyarrhythmias or the high output stakes. यहाँ हार्ट को नॉर्मल से ज़्यादा काम करना पड़ता है, लाइक सीवियर एनीमिया, थायरोटॉक्सिकोसिस, बेरी Paget's disease, or an AV fistula. Why? Because tissue oxygen demand is high, so cardiac output has to catch up. You will also find it in the decompensated cardiac failure and cardiogenic shock, where the heart beats faster to compensate for failing stroke volume. Lastly, watch out for the sympathomimetic or vagolytic drugs like atropine, nifedipine, salbutamol, and terbutaline, which directly spike the rate. Once you know how fast the heart is beating, you need to feel how cleanly it is beating. This brings us to the pulse rhythm. which we divide based on predictability. First is regularly irregular. इसका मतलब है कि रिदम में डिस्टर्बेंस तो है, पर उस डिस्टर्बेंस का एक फिक्स प्रेडिक्टेबल पैटर्न है. You see this in the atrial tachyarrhythmias with fixed AV blocks, standard sinus arrhythmias, partial second degree AV blocks, and ventricular bigeminy or trigeminy. यहाँ हर दूसरी या तीसरी बीट प्रिडिक्टेबल इंटरवल्स पर मिस या अर्ली होती है. सेकेंड इज इरेगुलरली इरेगुलर. यहाँ कोई रूल नहीं है. कंप्लीट chaos. There is absolutely no predictable pattern to the rhythm or the pulse volume. This is the classic textbook presentation of atrial fibrillation because atria are chaotic and quivering. Random electrical signals bombarded the AV node, making the ventricular contractions totally random. You can also see this with the chaotic ventricular ectopics, premature complexes, or atrial tachyarrhythmias paired with varying AV blocks where the conduction ratio keeps changing dynamically. Next is the occasional and the regular arrhythmias. Finally, look at the bottom categories. We have regular with occasional irregularity. यहाँ पल्स बिल्कुल सही चल रही होती है, पर बीच बीच में अचानक से एक सिंगल इरेगुलर बीट आती है. This happens due to isolated extrasystoles or premature beats. एक important clinical pulse ध्यान रखिएगा. Just because an arrhythmia is present doesn't mean the rhythm cannot feel regular at the wrist. In conditions like atrial flutter, ventricular tachyarrhythmias, or first and second degree heart blocks with fixed conduction, the electrical pacemaker might be abnormal, but it fires so uniformly that the physical peripheral pulse still feels perfectly regular. Always correlate your physical pulse finding with an ECG to get an absolute diagnostic truth. And that's a wrap on part 2. Arterial waveforms look scary on paper, but once you understand the basic cardiac mechanics behind them, everything just clicks. Make sure to stay tuned for the part 3 where we conclude the series with advanced bedside test. If this video helped clear your concepts, give us a thumbs up, share it with your batchmates and subscribe to Clinical Craft. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.